Hey there, Scorpio. Welcome to your reading for the middle of May 2021. This is your mid-May update. We are going to take a look at your current general energies in this first row. In your second row, we're going to look at any blockages or blind spots and solutions to those blockages and blind spots. And at the end, we're going to look at the good stuff that's coming in for you. So again, it doesn't matter if there's challenging cards that show up in that last row because we're only looking at the good things that are coming in for you here. But let's see what is going on for you here, Scorpio. Very mental energy right off the bat here, Scorpio. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what is going on for you this week. But very mental energy. It's like there's like definitely this energy of being very deep in thought in your reading. Yeah, even in the good stuff here, you have the Ace of Swords, which is kind of like being very mental, very deep in thought, like all that other stuff. And kicking it off here in your current general energies, you have the Swan Spirit. It says time for a deep dive. So you're clearly looking very deeply into something here this month. You have the Five of Cups. It's kind of coming up as part of your blockage as well. Like being too fixed on why something didn't work out in your life, or being too fixed on like one thing. So I would definitely be careful of that here with the Five of Cups. And especially you have the Thinker card here. In the area of your blockages and blind spots, we're going to look at solutions again when we clarify that row. But at the same time, I feel like this reading is kind of like saying, try not to perseverate. Try not to only think about bad things that are going on in your life. Try to add in just a tiny little bit of positivity. I always tell people, it's like, I'm a huge fan of the law of attraction, obviously, but I'm also a realist, right? I realize that it's like we can't always be positive. We can't always be whatever, right? And as I always say, I've known several like wealthy people who are just absolutely miserable, miserable people, right? And it's like, and they still make tons of money for whatever reason, right? So it's like you can say what you want about the law of attraction, but it's like not always true. So I don't think we always have to be positive. But what I will say is, even if things are going terrible in your life or whatever, if you could just be like 1% more positive than you are negative, I feel like that will make just a world of difference here in this reading. I also feel like it's going to be very important, like what you focus on this month with the Swan Spirit. You have the Moon, you have the Five of Cups, and the Queen of Pentacles here. So it's like a little bit uncertain. All three water signs have had something about like uncertainty this in the middle of the month, and kind of not being sure like what path you're going on, having a lot of options as well. And that's coming up on the Moon card here. So I feel there are like many different directions. It's like you're feeling pulled in different directions as well. I'm not really getting a good solution for this card because it's kind of just saying to me that you're going to have to explore. You're going to have to feel your way around. So it's like you might be saying maybe you got lost a job is popping into my head, or maybe you're not sure what to do with your business. The answer that I'm getting here is experimentation. To me, the Nine of Wands is the card of experimentation, but to me, it's kind of like saying that you're going to have to feel your way around. Your only answer is to walk through darkness here. And that sounds scary, but it's really not. You have the Five of Cups. Like I said, the Five of Cups is, again, just needing to be grateful for what you do have, needing to turn around and see the two cups that are standing behind you. And this Queen of Pentacles, I feel, is talking about resourcefulness. The Queen of Pentacles is kind of like a little bit of a blessing here in this first row. It's not a bad reading at all. And again, we're going to clarify this, so who knows where it's going to go here, Scorpio. But what I would say is that I do feel that she's a little bit of a blessing coming in here in this reading because, she represents resourcefulness, and I feel like it's saying you just have the resources to kind of feel your way around, to figure out where you're going with that Moon card. The Moon card is a journey, as I always say, it's part of the Fool's journey, and it's kind of like something that we all have to go through from time to time, and it doesn't even have to be that big of a deal. It could be you trying to build something really great in your life, but you're just not sure how to do it. So let's see what's going on for you here, Scorpio. You have the Three Cups. People want to help you. Three Cups says if you are uncertain, if you're not sure where you're going, what you're doing, the direction that you're going in, there are people in your life who can help guide you. So I would allow people to guide you and help you with that card. Queen of Pentacles, again, resources. It's like you're being given the resources necessary to be successful. Part of me feels like this is a pause as well. You know, there are always rabbits on the Queen of Pentacles, and there's multiple rabbits on the bottom of this Queen of Pentacles here as well. And the rabbits kind of represent leaps and bounds type energy. So, it could be one of those things where maybe you've been frozen, you haven't been moving forward, you haven't been moving backwards, you've just been kind of stuck in place. The Queen of Pentacles shows up and can say, you are about to make a huge leap forward. You are about to make progress here, Scorpio. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you have the Six of Pentacles as well. You have to get started. This is a pretty simple part of your reading. It's basically saying that in the middle of the month, the only thing you have to do is to take the first steps with that Six of Pentacles energy. Six of Pentacles, you could look at it as fairness, balance, giving, receiving, whatever you want to call it. But it can also be a card that says just like plant the first seed. The Six Pentacles kind of represent planting seeds. So in a lot of ways, I feel this is just saying you need to kind of start planting seeds in any direction, right? It doesn't matter. I think the challenge with the moon is that there are probably many different directions that you're thinking about right now. Like I just get the best way I could describe it is I get like a little bit of a scattered energy, and where it's like I feel like I want to go this way, but I also feel like I want to go over here as well. So it's like maybe you have multiple different jobs that you're interested in, or people, or maybe you have multiple businesses you want to start. I feel like this is just saying pick one and just start planting seeds and see where it goes. That's kind of the best way I could say this here, because I see multiple lines running into this into the middle here, and it's almost like they're coming together. I really feel like it's saying that right now it's like if like my arm is your life path, right? And I feel like you're just kind of on this other part of your life path that's going towards your main life path. This is the best way I could describe the energy I'm feeling here. And I don't think you're off your path or anything like that, Scorpio. I feel like just this is saying if you pick one thing and do it, it's just it might not be the thing you do forever, but it's gonna lead to your main life path. I don't really think we have a life path. Our purpose here on Earth is to create our own reality, whatever that means for you. I do feel like there are certain things that we come here to do, certain things we come here to work on. How we accomplish that is, up to us. Ultimately, we have free will. But again, I feel like you're kind of on this side path, if that makes sense. And it doesn't matter which, there's multiple points here on my arm, right? Where I feel like you could be starting this journey, or where you could be getting back onto your path. It doesn't matter what you choose, is what I'm trying to say. Because there's probably going to be some sort of change in the future. Weird message, but I like it because I feel like it's a good thing. Next, in the area of your blockages and blind spots, you have the Thinker card. Too much mental energy here, I would say. So I do feel there's a need to think. And sorry, Scorpio, I've had this thing poking into my neck on my shirt for all day now. Through all these readings I've been doing, it's driving me crazy. But sorry, Scorpio. But what I would say here is too much mental energy. I feel there's a need to add some fun, some excitement into your life. I'm almost getting Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is work hard, play hard. And that's the energy I'm getting here, is needing to kind of work hard, play hard. You have the Fool, the Six of Wands, and the Nine of Swords here. Again, too much thinking, needing to look at the positive with the Nine of Swords. So I feel like you need to keep it a little bit more positive. It's crazy because Cancer had the Six of Wands in the same position. Six of Wands can represent needing to, it can represent attention. And so for some of you, it could be the amount of attention that you're getting if you start something new. And so, that could be the thing that's holding you back. I also feel like it's kind of the need to know that something is going to be successful before even starting. So for example, I love this Fool card. It's this Fool card. She's standing on top of this alligator's tail, and its tail is a flower here. And it's almost like she's worried that if she picks that flower, that alligator is going to come up and get her, right? So I feel for some of you, your blockage at this time is to just take a leap of faith. And it's you're not sure if it's going to go positively or negatively. The Six of Wands, I feel, is saying that you can't know. It's sometimes, that's what I would say this middle row is. I'm babbling right now, Scorpio, I apologize. But I've taken allergy medicine because my allergies have been raging for weeks now. But so I'm gonna blame the Claritin. But what I would say here is that it's almost like you want to know that something is going to be successful before you even get started. And I feel like this is saying you can't, you can't know. You have to go on the journey. And this is why, because again, it's almost like you're starting a side journey. Like I said, with my arm, it's like I see you kind of like a line, and it's like another line is coming in. So it's almost like the reason you can't know if something is going to be successful or not is because it's the thing that is adding up to the main line in your life, the main journey. I hope that makes sense, Scorpio. That's a pretty good reading. I actually like this because I feel like it's very empowering. I feel like it's a positive energy. You have the Temperance card here. Yeah, I feel like this is your solution, by the way, to these blockages. I feel like you need to be patient with yourself. I feel like that Temperance card is saying you need to realize that that things can change. That you can change whatever you want. You're not stuck anywhere. It reminds me of like when I was a kid. I used to like think of relationships kind of like in a weird way when I was younger, like when I was in my early teens, and I used to think like, oh, I can't, I don't want to date this person. It's like I was thinking too much of the end, like I was thinking like, oh, if I date this person, I'm gonna have to marry them, right? And I wasn't thinking, hey, let's just see where it goes. And that's a weird message, but that's what I'm getting here, as I feel like that Temperance card is saying, whatever it is that you want to do in your life, it doesn't really matter, whether it's love, business, money, spirituality. I feel like you just need to see where it goes. Those are like the words I'm getting there. And you just need to be, open to adventure and experiences and gaining experience as well. And that's what that card is asking you to do. Yeah, you have the Judgment card here. Yeah, it's like you're waking up to something here, especially with this Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords plus the Judgment card to me is like the waking up, kind of finally snapping out of a nightmare. So in a lot of ways, I feel like you're snapping out of a nightmare. I also feel like you're feeling a calling as well. In a lot of ways, I feel that sometimes like the call gets louder. It's like if we want to start a business or whatever, it's like, soon, eventually, if we don't get started, it just becomes something we can't ignore. It just becomes something that we have to do, in a lot of ways. It's like I've had businesses since I was 16, but I started working when I was 12 years old on a vineyard, and I knew when I started there, I was like, I'm never going to have a boss again in my life. I knew when I worked there, and I worked there until I was 16. And then I had jobs after that, of course, right? But at the same time, I knew then that I didn't want to have a boss ever in my life. And it was kind of like that calling. Even though I had jobs, every single job pushed me closer and closer and closer towards doing my own thing. And I feel like that's happening to you. It's like, through every single thing that you go through, whether, could be love, could be relationships. I feel like you're saying, I'm never going to date a person like this. And it's like each one pushes you closer and closer to the thing that you actually want. And you have the Hangman here as well. Hangman is seeing things from a new perspective. We have the Mercury retrograde at the end of the month. Doesn't really surprise me. The Hangman has been coming up a lot in these mid-monthly readings, and I think it's because of the Mercury retrograde. The retrograde allows us, this is why retrogrades are good, right? Because they allow us to see things from a new perspective, from a different point of view. So it's like this is going to probably lead to a turnaround. Love it. Finally here, for the good stuff that's coming in for you, you have the Eight of Cups here. You're clearly walking away from things that no longer serve you. Again, it doesn't matter what cards come up here, whether they're positive or negative. This is going to be the good things that are coming in for you. So I feel like you're walking away from things that no longer serve you. You have the Two of Swords, the Five of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. It's like you're moving towards this victory with the Ace of Swords, or you're moving towards like a significant win in your life. I feel that with the Two of Swords, it's kind of like saying, Two of Swords is going to new lands. It's kind of like the Eight of Cups. You're like walking away from things that no longer serve you with that Eight of Cups energy and the Two of Swords. You're walking towards something new. You're walking towards something kind of like different with this Two of Swords energy. So I really like to see that. I also feel like you're more kind of like making compromises, but I don't think the Two of Swords typically represents making a compromise with other people in your life. I don't really get that for you. I think you could be, of course, making compromises with people in your life, but I feel like you're making more compromises with yourself, right? And what I mean by that is it's almost like the positive message that I'm getting here is there's less extreme energy. Like I feel like you're going to less extremes. Your whole reading boils down to my arm. Your whole reading boils down to the line that I'm seeing in my head for you, Scorpio. It's almost like maybe in the past, for example, maybe you would lose a job and you would go this way to like one extreme, like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to feed my family and like all this other bad stuff, right? Then maybe you were making money and you're like, oh my God, I'm going to go spend all my money, right? It's like there were two extremes. I feel like you're becoming more like centered. It's like you're compromising with yourself in a way. I hope that makes sense with the Two of Swords. I'm getting weird messages for you, but definitely a very good reading. So I feel like you're being more balanced, right? And this is going to lead to more victories. It's going to lead to more wins, just in general. The Five of Wands, as far as a positive is concerned with the Five of Wands, it can say that you are learning. It can also say you're overcoming competition, which I do feel for some of you, especially in business, that you could be overcoming some competition. It's also a card of like exploration and finding treasure. I used to call this card Indiana Jones because to me, it's like a card of going on some sort of crazy adventure and finding treasure. So I feel like you could be finding some rewards with that Five of Wands energy. But let's clarify this here, Scorpio, and let's see what we have for you. Wheel of Fortune, damn. Definitely a major turnaround here coming in for you. I feel like there's a lot of luck coming in for you there as well. The Empress, a lot of abundance coming in for you here. And the Four of Cups, you're manifesting something you want. Again, normally the Four of Cups would represent ignoring something that you're trying to manifest, but because it's showing up in this area of the good things that are coming in for you, it's like you are manifesting something that you desire. Ace of Swords is a victory as well. So there's clearly a victory coming in for you. A lot of abundance. I feel like you're very attractive at this time as well with that Empress card. I don't really see love here, if I'm being honest with you. Again, that does not mean that you're not going to have love. I always say, like, take tarot. Tarot should be, I'm a tarot reader. This is what I do with my life, right? And I believe that tarot should be taken with a grain of salt. This should basically be like, your life is ice cream. This is the cherry on top, right? Or not even. This is like kind of like the sprinkles, you know, which are okay. Sprinkles are just okay. But, I feel like this is saying that, and what I mean by that is it's like tarot should just be light guidance, right? That's what I believe. And again, I do this for a living. So, like I said, take this with a grain of salt. But I feel like the Empress is, where I was going with that is love. Again, I don't necessarily see love here. Again, that does not mean you can't have love. I feel like if you put yourself out there, love is always available to us. But I feel like you're more focused on other things here with this reading. We're going to be pulling 3 yes or no question cards. We're going to do 1, 2, and 3 right here. So this is yes, no, maybe, because tarot, again, doesn't control your life. You control your own reality. So it doesn't matter what these cards say. You can easily turn these around, right? For question number 1, you have the Six of Swords. I would say yes. I feel like you're moving on to calmer shores. I feel like this is a good thing, so I would say yes. For question number 2, I would say yes, 2 sixes. I love 2 sixes. 2 sixes is definitely being on the right path, going in the right direction. And you have the King of Cups. Yes, look at this. Here's love right here. This could be true love coming in for you for sure. So I would definitely say yes. I feel like you're going in the right direction. And I would say yes to all 3 cards here, Scorpio. If you don't have a question, or even if you do have questions, putting this all together, I feel like this could be a knight in shining armor coming in for you. But again, to me, it doesn't really necessarily feel like it's this month. It could be a water sign that's coming in for you here. It could also be an earth sign as well that's coming in for you if you're looking for love. And it would be a knight in shining armor. Definitely someone who's like fated to be in your life if you're looking for love. But again, I'd say maybe they're coming in next month, like June or at the end of June or over the summer. It just doesn't feel like right now to me, if I'm being honest with you. So, for some of you, maybe. But for most of you, I feel like this is someone, maybe you have your eye on them. Or this is someone who will maybe who you will have your eye on in the future, but I just don't think they're here yet. But still looks really good. So thank you for being here, Scorpio. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. Also, feel free to like and subscribe. Really appreciate the support. But thank you, Scorpio, and definitely enjoy your month.